All right, friends, let's talk about some hard truths. There are some organizations out there that are not talking about this, so I am going to. You've probably heard that diet doesn't matter when it comes to tics and Tourette's. In fact, the Tourette's Association of America straight up says there is no medical evidence that any specific diet helps Tourette's. But here's the thing. That's just not true anymore. And I have the studies and the stories to prove it. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Piper Gibson, Ph.D., holistic health rebel, boy mom, and founder of the Tic Disorder Institute, Regenerating Health. My mission is simple: to help you reverse your child's tic disorder symptoms naturally without band-aids, bullshit, or being told to just wait it out. And if it's ever made you feel crazy for questioning what your kid eats, this one is for you. Let's bust this myth wide open. According to the Tourette's Association, there is no medical evidence to suggest that a particular diet is better suited for people with tics and Tourette's. And yet, in the very next breath, they admit that many people notice their tics get worse when eating foods with additives, artificial colors, and high levels of sugar. So diet doesn't matter, but diet does matter, and diet does make tics worse. So make it make sense. What they're not telling you is that food absolutely impacts brain inflammation. We know now that artificial dyes, processed sugar, junky additives, gluten, and dairy absolutely light up the brain like it is a Christmas tree, especially kids with neuroimmune and neurodevelopment conditions like Tourette's and tics. Here's the kicker. They won't endorse nutritional studies unless the sample size is massive and funded through the traditional pharmaceutical pipeline. That's why they ignore compelling smaller studies, and that's why parents like you are left without guidance unless you're willing to step outside of the box. Here's where this really starts to get juicy. There is a study led by my dear friend and colleague, Julie Matthews, a certified nutritional consultant who's been working with kids on the spectrum and with tic disorders for years. Her most recent research dives into how a specialized diet, a paleo diet in particular, rich in whole foods free of gluten, dairy, soy, and additives, can significantly improve symptoms in children with neurological disorders, including tics. Julie's research showed real, measurable improvements, less anxiety, better focus, reduced tics. This isn't just a mom blog myth. It's peer-reviewed science that's finally starting to catch up with what functional medicine has known for years. And there is actually an older study that looked at gluten, dairy, and sugar on the impact of people with Tourette's. It was a very small sample size of individuals. And so it really wasn't accepted by the association because they didn't feel like the sample size was large enough. However, 70% of the people in the study saw improvement in their tics and Tourette's when they changed their diet. It is not just a myth. It is peer-reviewed science that is finally catching up with years of what we have known in functional medicine. And you know what? I see it every single day in practice. When we pull out the junk and fuel these kids with clean, anti-inflammatory foods, they begin to change. However, I want you to keep in mind, diet is only one piece of the puzzle. With the kids we are working with at the Tic Disorder Institute, it is multiple factors. It is what I call a perfect storm. They are exposed to so many things. Their immune system is dysregulated. Their neurological system is imbalanced. And so we need to look at what's going on at the root in order to figure out how to make these kids have optimal health and how to reverse their tic disorder symptoms naturally. So we see it every single day in practice. When we pull out that junk, they start to change. They start to sleep better. They're calmer. They smile more, they talk more, they focus more in school. Parents will call me or send me a message and say, oh my gosh, my kid is doing so well in school and they're getting 95% on their math test because we have made all of these changes. Diet being one piece of the puzzle. But over time, with diet changes, these tics start to slow down and even disappear. So if you're waiting for different associations to tell you that diet matters, don't hold your breath. But if you are really wondering whether or not food matters, it does. I have a 19-year-old son who was diagnosed with a transient neurological tic over 13 years ago. When the conventional model failed us, I went back to school to relearn everything I thought I knew about health and wellness. My son was diagnosed over 13 years ago, and he can tell you now, he's 19 years old, and he will tell you that one of the biggest impact on his symptoms is what he eats. It isn't the only thing. We have to balance all the things that we are doing, but diet is one of the key drivers of his symptoms. So diet matters. It does. Diet matters. And if you're sick of getting shrugs from your doctors that say, just ignore it, advice from the experts, you're not alone. You're in the right place. If you are struggling trying to have a better understanding of how food might impact your child, whether it's tics, anxiety, ADHD, OCD, SPD, you name it, come join our private Facebook group, Tic Disorder Secrets, A Natural Approach, where we are going to talk openly about what actually works, including the dietary shifts that traditional medicine refuses to acknowledge. Your doctor will tell you diet doesn't matter. I have countless clients around the world who will tell you that diet matters. We have peer-reviewed studies that will tell you diet matters. We're not here to wait for approval. We're here to change lives, one clean plate and one strong mama at a time. So make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel so you do not miss all of the new important research that is out there. And join our Facebook group, Tic Disorder Secrets, A Natural Approach. Thank you for joining me.